They dug up skulls to prove an inferiority that didn't exist. And this was not ancient history or fringe belief, but your grandparents' lifetime, when scientists with Ivy League degrees measured craniums to justify a hierarchy built on a lie. They called it the Multiregional Hypothesis, which sounded technical and neutral, but meant something simple: that Europeans came from Neanderthals and were refined by ice and struggle, while Africans stayed primitive, barely changed since the beginning of humanity. This was a story designed to make equality look biologically impossible, implying that disparity was not an injustice but a fixed law of nature, backed by the authority of the very textbooks your parents might have read. This was mainstream science that institutions funded and museums built dioramas around. And when the evidence started shifting, the old guard fought to maintain their position because that story protected old power and old money. Then genetics arrived and changed everything we thought we knew. British paleoanthropologist Chris Stringer spent decades assembling the proof that mitochondrial DNA does not lie and does not care about politics, showing something devastating to their hierarchy. Modern humans emerged from Africa roughly 200,000 years ago. Every human on Earth is a variation on a fundamentally African theme. The data proved that human difference is continuous rather than categorical, and African populations carry the deepest diversity because humanity stayed where it began while everyone else represents branches of that original richness. Here is the fact they still try to suppress: the genetic distance between two sand people in Africa can actually exceed the distance between a Swede and a Korean. Under actual measurement, the concept of race dissolves entirely. But science does not float free from power. Theories that confirm existing hierarchies get the microphones, while challenges face impossible demands for proof. We see it today when researchers hunt for intelligence genes to explain away gaps created by policy and history. The Out of Africa model won because the evidence became overwhelming. And still, the world resists what it means. If we share a recent African ancestry, then race is something we invented to sort people, not something nature created to separate us. The skull measurers were wrong, the geneticists proved it. And the fact that we are still arguing proves this was never about science. It was about who writes the story and who keeps the house they stole. Episode 5 shows what the genes actually reveal. Stay for it.